Oh, of course there would be a plane, daily plane, as soon as I decide to record. Woo! Oh, the wildlife is popping off. Hello, we're back again with another video. We're gonna sit down and we're gonna chat about escapism. So reading can be a great hobby because it can be great for your mental health. It can be great to help you improve your vocabulary, improve your communication skills. I have actually spoke about this before in a video, so go watch that. I'm trying to figure out YouTube, so maybe it'll be up here somewhere. Who knows? But one of my favorite parts about reading is the escapism it can provide. So you're going about your normal day and then you're excited to read your book, you open your book and you enter a world of, could be anything, could be fantasy, could be romance, could be a small town, literally could be anything, but it's something different to what you've done that day or what you're going to do that day. Now escapism can be fun because you can learn a lot from it. Like I said, not only just the grammar, the reading comprehension, all of those skills, but you can also learn a new perspective. It can make you feel more creative, and it can also inspire you to maybe create something of your own. This is a big reason why I prefer to read fiction over non-fiction, because some of the non-fiction books, the topics really interest me. As soon as I start reading it, it just feels like more of a chore. It feels like kind of similar to the academic books I've read before. And again, I did mention this in another video, but that gave me a lot of burnout. So I feel like with fiction books, I don't get that same burnout because it's an entirely new world. Anything's possible. Having a bit of escapism every now and then, or for a short time every day, is great. It can help reduce stress. And it also helps you keep your creativity high, keep your perspective positive, and if used well, it can really actually improve your state of being and how you feel. However, I must also say that you need to be careful with escapism because it should be a comfort, it shouldn't be a coping mechanism. Obviously, this is taking a little bit of a deep turn, but people can become over-reliant on escapism, you know, wanting to get away from the world that is currently their reality and wanting to sort of stay away in this escapist world. And whilst escapism is great in small doses, if it's continuous and it's a reliance, it can become kind of a dangerous relationship. So it's very important to remember your reality and to ground yourself in your reality as well. You know, it's cliche, whatnot, but I always say everything happens for a reason. Now, I know there's some things in this world that should have never happened, and I'm not naive or silly enough to ignore them or act like it was supposed to happen, because obviously they're horrible things and I don't agree with them at all. However, for me, in my own reality, my day-to-day life, I like to project that there is some kind of path or some kind of, I don't want to say fate, but something the universe kind of helps you along your life. I like to believe that, and I feel like if I can say to myself everything happens for a reason, it can make my perspective on things be a lot more clearer and a lot more decisive. I feel like what I've done is completely lost my train of thought, but you know, that's me. Sorry, you're gonna have to deal with it. I'm so sorry. Hopefully you get what I was trying to say. Basically, with the very deep turn, what I'm trying to say is that escapism is great, but just be careful with it, that you're not becoming too over-reliant. I've always liked reading since I was a kid. It was one of those things I've just always done. I liked being read to, as well as reading the books on my own. I just like the creativity. I like seeing what authors have made, and I think it's really impressive. And you know, maybe it's the goal of mine one day to be able to write something and call it my own. I definitely feel that since I got back into reading 2 years ago, we had a little burnout moment. When I properly got back into reading for fun, for a hobby, about 2 years ago, I really remembered how great it can be to have a little bit of escapism every now and then. And also, I feel like I did notice a big change in the way I communicated, in the words that I chose, in terms of vocabulary. I think also my comprehension with some things. Like, you definitely don't lose it. It's not a skill that you lose, but I feel like the more you practice something, the better you get at it, right? I feel like the same applies to reading. I also feel like perhaps, and it's definitely not a race and it's definitely not competition, but I also read a little bit faster than I probably used to because I'm more used to having lots of words on lots of pages. It doesn't intimidate me as much anymore. Reading is just, in my opinion, probably one of the best hobbies because it can be a personal journey, but it can also be a community journey too. I've said this before, I use Goodreads. I like to see what my friends are reading. I think they also like to see what I'm reading. You know, we did speak about in the past like a book club situation. I would love to explore that idea. I think that it's great to talk with people after you've finished a book, and you know, even if you have different opinions, it's really cool to see someone else's perspective, how they've sort of digest and absorb the information they were given, because you know you were both given the same information. So I feel like that's really cool and really interesting. It's also great when you love a book and you find someone else that does. It's such a lovely feeling. Honestly, just read. I mean, if you're already a seasoned reader, I'm sure you'll agree with me. And to my new readers out there, if there are people that are not sure whether they want to get into it, there's no harm in trying, right? In my head, there's not really any negatives to reading a few pages of a book every now and then. Even if you read a couple of pages a week, it's a little extra thing that you might grow to love. One of my other mottos: if you don't try, you'll never know. Well, this became weirdly inspirational. Well, I don't think I could call it inspirational, but motivating maybe. Well, anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Just a chill chat, talking about books, what we love to do. If you've got any recommendations or books you'd like me to read, put them in the comments below. Or if there's any topics associated with reading or anything really, life as well, I'm also happy to talk about those. So pop them down there. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. And as always, until tomorrow, I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Put your heart in the sky and move side to side.